Welcome. Now let's look at the re-threaded figure of 8. To do this knot, you need the correct size and dimension for the knot to work. To do this, I like to measure out 110 centimeters of rope when I'm using this thickness of rope. For me, I found a marker on my body just above my harness, just below my belly button, and I know that that's 110-ish. From here, I put a loop in the rope, I twist once, twice, and I've created the snowman's head. From here, I take the working end and I poke the carrot through the snowman, making his nose. And there I have the figure of 8. Now, I take the working end, I feed that through my top tie-in point and then through the bottom tie-in point, and I pull the figure of 8 up close to the tie-in point. At this point, I need to re-thread the figure of 8. So I need to mimic and copy this original figure of 8. And to do that, I treat this as the train track and this as the train. I put them next to each other and I follow the train track on its route round. Then that becomes a re-threaded figure of 8. Okay? So, the health and safety executive require me to back that up with a thumb knot or a stopper knot. I've looked at these in an earlier video. So if you're unsure, have a look at one of those videos and it will show you how to do the stopper knot. So here I have a re-threaded figure of 8 backed up with a stopper knot which is the correct size. The reason it's the correct size is this tail is short, so it can't flick up and hit me in the face. Also, the stopper knot is very close to the re-threaded figure of 8, so I can't get my hand in there. And the re-threaded figure of 8 is close to the harness and the tie-in points, so I can't get my hand in there. So this is a good example of a re-threaded figure of 8. Let's look at a bad example. So, this was tied into my harness, or I saw it tied in somewhere else, I'd ask someone to redo this. The reason being is the gap between the tie-in points and the figure of 8 is too big. I could get my hand in there and that's possible entrapment. Then the gap between the figure of 8 and the stopper knot is also too big. Again, possible entrapment. Then, looking at the tail is too long. This could whip up and hit me in the face, as could the whole of the knot. The stopper knot particularly could reach up to my face and hit me. So this is a bad example in blue. The knot is correct, but it's the wrong size. So I'm trying to teach you about the size of the knot now. Whereas this here is the right size. This will take some practice. Keep practicing and retying it and you'll get the dimensions of the knot correct. Let me show you that one more time. This knot is often used by climbers to tie into their harness. I would say it's probably the most popular knot used in rope climbing. So, once we get back to the beginning, the first thing we need to do is measure out 110 centimeters. It might vary slightly from rope to rope and from person to person, but that's a good starter. From here, slightly above my harness and below my belly button, is a marker for me. Find a marker on your own body. Then here, just put a bend in the rope. Then twist once, twist twice. And you have a snowman's head. Put the carrot on for a nose, which gives you a figure of 8. From there, we take the working end. The working end goes through one tie-in point and another tie-in point. On this harness I have 2. Occasionally you'll find just 1. We have the single figure of 8. We now need to rethread it. Same thing as before, the train track and the train. So we put them next to each other and we follow them round. Sticking as close to the train track as you can. Cinch that down, get all the slack out of the system, so you have the rethreaded figure of 8. Now, to stop this riding back up through there, we put a stopper knot on there. And the stopper knot goes round. We cinch that down a bit more. So I've got enough tail to squeeze through. Then I can pull that through. So again, I've got a good dimension knot where the tail's not too long, not too short. It's very close to the rethreaded and the stopper knot, and this is close to the harness. So with this, remember, practice makes permanent. Keep practicing, commit it to memory muscle, and you'll soon find it second nature. Thanks for listening.